Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2024 Chevy Traverse LT. Up front is a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Chevy Traverse because this is an all-new vehicle for 2024. This is the next generation of the Traverse. This is hot off the presses, and I'm excited to bring you something so new, so fresh, and honestly something that I think looks really, really good here on the channel. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zachpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. Also, huge thank you to Ray Chevrolet for letting me take out their new Traverse. I'll talk more about them towards the end of the video, but if you would like to browse their inventory, you can find that in the description below. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4 under the hood. Well, it is currently the only drivetrain offering here in the Traverse for 2024. All of the trim levels get the 2.5 liter turbo with the 8-speed automatic. Honestly, I think it is a pretty decent engine and puts out a good amount of power. 310 is nothing to thumb your nose at, and it really does deliver a nice driving experience. Do I miss a V6 offering? Of course, I always enjoy that low-end torque, but I don't think that the 2.5 liter turbo is anything bad. Like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic. In my time driving the car, it's been good. I don't have any issues there. However, if I'm being honest, I'm just happy that it's not a CVT, so I'll take it where I can. Last but not least about the Traverse, this is front-wheel drive. However, you can, of course, find them with all-wheel drive. This is the front-wheel drive version. So how does it feel to drive the 2024 Chevy Traverse? It does feel decently big. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like a decently big vehicle. And honestly, a lot of people are calling these baby Tahoes, and I kind of get it. It doesn't feel that gargantuan, but it's getting there. However, visibility is pretty good out the front, and the steering is actually really, really light. I would say almost too light, but that'll feed into my final thoughts later on. I don't quite mind it. And the ride is a little bit stiff, but again, in a vehicle like this, you know, this isn't a Cadillac, it's not a Buick, going to ride a little bit harder, and so that's just the reality of it, and that's how this vehicle handles. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital gauge cluster. GM is moving towards this style in a lot of their vehicles. We saw this in the Chevy Blazer EV I recently drove, and so I don't mind it. It has really good colors in it. It's interesting, and it's not too cluttered, although it is getting towards that, but I think it's in a good spot for now. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have our cruise control options, and off to the right, we have our voice commands, music, pages, and our heated steering wheel. The overall steering wheel does feel nice. I'm a big fan of it, and I don't have any worries besides that. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, power parking brake, our mode button, auto start stop on and off, and gauge dimmer switch. And moving on to the door, we have lock and unlock with the latch to get in and out, power mirrors, and power windows. Moving into the center, this is where you're going to notice a big change for the Traverse, and that is the Google infotainment system. Now, this does offer Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. GM hasn't fully done away with it yet here for the Traverse, but I actually really enjoy how this is laid out. Two things about it. First of all, there is a volume knob to the upper left, but the screen goes down and below that, so it looks like one fluid piece. The other thing, I do have a camera button, which is really cool, that you can actually toggle while driving as well, which is fantastic. And I have all the Google amenities that I'd want. Google Maps, Google Podcasts, things like that. Here's the backup camera in case you're curious about the quality of that, which I think is very good. Down below, we have two climate control vents and our climate controls themselves. We get dual zone climate, fan speed, auto, on off, things like that. Pretty basic beyond that, but I like how it's laid out. Very minimalist, not too cluttered, and that can't be said about Chevys of the past, so I like the fact that they've remedied that. Then we do get a wireless charger down in the center. Love to see that. And moving into the center, we do have two cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the brand new Traverse, and I am quite torn. It does go down into the cup holder for a second, but I think it's just enough to give it a pass. Then Then we do have an openable cubby. I'm not totally sure the purpose of this, but it's nice to see extra storage options. And we have the center console. Also not much going on in there, but cool to see. Moving on to the seats are cloth. However, they're this really nice fabric. They don't feel like the bottom of the barrel cheapest fabric that Chevy could have used. I'm sure it is, but it doesn't feel that way, and that's nice to see. And like I said, I do have heated seats, and the driver's seat is power as well. However, speaking of seats, we do have 2 more rows of seating. So let's go do some backseat reviews. All right, so we're in the second row of the brand new Chevy Traverse for 2024, and a couple of things to note. First of all, knee room is great and headroom is great. That's not really an issue here. I'm 5'11". I'm not a small guy by any means, and I'm comfortable. And that's hard to say about a lot of other vehicles. What I don't like back here is the seats themselves are rather hard. Now, maybe they would get broken in over many miles of memories and smiles, but right now, right off the boat, which I don't think this took a boat here. But either way, they're pretty hard. And so I'm not enjoying them in that regard, but that's okay. GM is very well known for making comfortable front seats and then kind of forgetting about the comfort of the back seats. At least in the Chevy divisions. Of course, Buick is different and Cadillac is different, but that has been my experience. I do have 2 cup holders here, and I have my own climate controls for fan speed and temperature, as well as auto and mode. I have 2 USB-C chargers and a wall outlet back here as well. Cubby down below, but we do have a 3rd row, so let's hop back there and do a 3rd row review. All right, so in the very back of the new Traverse, and a couple of things to note. First of all, as you didn't see, because I edited it out, there's an aisle in the middle, and I love that. I like the 2 captain's chairs with an aisle setup. It makes getting in the back so much easier. Once I am back here, obviously the seats are still hard, just like the front seats, but I do have 2 USB-C chargers back here. I have cup holders, and I actually fit as an adult. Is this the most comfortable position I've ever been in? No, but I fit back here. Could you take 6 adults? Really 7, because there is a middle seat, but I don't want to be mean to someone. Could you take 6 adults confidently in the new Traverse? Yes, you can. Also, something I do want to note is that I have vents here in the ceiling. The reason I point this out is that at the time of filming this video, last week I had a Mazda CX-90. And that was a 3-row SUV from Mazda, and I'll link that video at the end of this one in case you're curious. Also a 2.5-liter 3-row, you know, the whole 9. That car didn't have rear vents in the ceiling. They had them down here, and so it would just either superheat or super cool my left shin. This actually has it right here. I can adjust it. I can have it come down on me. I can have it shoot directly into my left eye and dry it out. Whatever I want, I can have back here in the Traverse, and I love that. Speaking of in the back of the Traverse, let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the very back of the Traverse, hit it twice here on the key fob, and we do have a power-operated tailgate. Once we are in here, we do have a couple of things to note. We have a little 12-volt outlet down below. I would have liked to have seen like a full wall outlet, just because we did get one in the 2nd row. Might as well toss one back here. We can pop this up as well. We have some extra storage down below, and we could pull these to lower the 3rd row of seats, which is very, very nice. I do think this is a good amount of space for it being a 3-row vehicle, and still having cargo space behind the 3rd row is huge. Not a lot of vehicles do that. So as I'm standing here looking at this cargo space, it gets harder and harder to justify the purchase of a Tahoe if you don't tow. Besides this, because this is going to be the same amount of storage space as a Tahoe. It's going to ride nicer. I don't know. It's a hard sell now. So that's how good the Traverse is that it makes me doubt one of Chevy's most iconic vehicles. So very well done back here. We do have a button up here. Press it once, and it is a power tailgate back down. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is where the Traverse really comes alive for me. I love the way that it looks. It looks so much better than the outgoing generation, and honestly, we're doing the walk around here of this LT. It's not anything too crazy or special, but they are going to offer a Z71 and upper trim levels that do look a lot more aggressive, so I'll show some stock images here. Unfortunately, I haven't driven those vehicles, but I think they look killer. And I love the design path that Chevy is currently on. I think Chevy's starting to get back to their square body roots that we saw throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I liked the angular design. I liked the big front ends of the K5 Blazers and K10 pickups. I loved it. And so it feels like they're doing a modern spin on those designs. A lot of harder angles, flat fronts, but that's what I like. And so it might be controversial. You might not like how the Traverse looks, but I personally do. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Chevy Traverse from the 2024 model year? Well, I'm excited to be in anything that's just brand new. It's always super, super cool to drive something cutting edge and get it out to you guys as soon as possible. Couple of downsides here. I don't like that my heated seats are ran through the screen. I would have liked a physical button for that, but I do still get some physical climate controls, so it's not the end of the world. I don't love the 2.5 liter turbo. I have some questions about reliability, but this car hasn't even been out a month at the time of filming, so I can't comment on the reliability. I don't know. But on the flip side, let's talk about the positives. I love the fact that it doesn't have a CVT. I like that it has a true 8-speed automatic. I like the room in here. I like the features. I like the Google Assistant and Google Display. And like I mentioned earlier, it just looks great. It really, really looks fantastic. And here's the new Chevy Equinox, which I think looks even better, which is saying a lot because these cars are very, very good looking. I've enjoyed visually looking at these, and driving one ain't so bad either. I think this is a good 3-row SUV and a good alternative to the Tahoe. I love Tahoes. I love Suburbans. Probably always will. But that is a lot of car for someone that doesn't tow. If you tow a boat and have a family, buy a Suburban yesterday. But I don't have anything to pull. And so yeah, I would gladly take the Traverse with a little bit better ride quality. It's gonna fit in my garage a little bit better. It's gonna look better in my opinion. And it isn't gonna come with all the drawbacks that a full-framed truck chassis Suburban or Tahoe would have. And so that to me is enough to solidify my enjoyment of the new Traverse. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Ray Chevrolet here in Fox Lake, Illinois, for letting me take out their new Traverse. This was something I was so excited to get behind the wheel of. Ray Chevrolet is wonderful. We've been working together for, several years now. Always super friendly staff. They'll get you into the car that you want or need. No frills, and I appreciate that out of a dealership very, very much. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.